All right, so we might need somebody to tell us whether we are live or not on YouTube. And we are checking out to see where we are live. If we are, the Adams Man team is live on Facebook as well. So, give me just half a second here, though. There we go. Let's see if we're live. It looks like we are. What I'm not sure about is whether we have any sound. And it looks like on Facebook we've got some latency and we've got some stuff back. And it looks like I'm probably complaining a little bit there. All right, let's take a look. I'm actually going to separate out YouTube for a second here. And all right, let's see if we have sound or not. Wow, we are really, that's really buffered, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, that's not good. Where's your phone?
In my pocket.
In your pocket? That's probably why we've got a dinging going on here. I have a feeling somebody might be telling us that our sound is not working. No sound?
Just came in, but sound is going in and out.
All right. So here we go. This is going to be fun, folks. Let's see here. Let's see if we close this one, because we don't need that this week. Let's see if that improves our stream. See, the problem is our stream is really bad. We're all yellow instead of red.
But we had a lot of problems with internet last night.
We have had a lot of problems with internet the last 24 hours.
What'd she say?
She heard me say something about complaining. I said, Oh, hey, I think... Okay, no. It did go red for a second. It actually, the whole thing shut down, Russ. I'm going to start number 2. Okay. So, let's see if we're back. It actually looks like maybe we'll be back in just a second, because now we got excellent connection here. And now, let's see what's going on here.
I've disappeared.
Is this the current one? I was trying to see if I could hear us, because I really should be able to hear us here. If you can hear us, please do us a favor and drop a comment in the chat so we know you're here. Our software on this side is telling us that now we have an excellent connection and now everything's good. So, saw you scratch your head. Great. I'd love it if you could hear us actually say something too, Sandy. We do have our super fan on the other end of the text messages here that's trying to help us out a little bit. So it looks like we're streaming pretty well on YouTube. What we can't figure out is if we are streaming. Yeah, if you can check our Facebook out, Russ. So I think the reason I can't hear it here is strictly because I have the volume turned down on purpose. The Adams Man team? Should be down a little ways. Russ is checking to see if we're actually live on Facebook here. There's definitely a huge lag between the two of these. So that's a little bit weird. Oh, hey, Heather. I don't know if you're still there, Heather, or not, but you were. Yes, all right. We are up and running. Oh, please forgive us, guys. Russ is actually going to get up in a second here and turn on... Okay. You can just shut that down if you want. Russ, I need you to get up and turn on the lights in this room because I just realized it's getting a little bit dark in here and we cannot see. Or if you can hold the keyboard and I will get up and do that, and you can explain to people why you're so exhausted. Do you think you can do that? So you can probably still hear me, folks, even though...
I've been driving around with clients today.
Okay, this has got to not happen. Oh.
So I've been up to Green Bay today to show properties. And for clients of ours that have got a promotion and moving up to Green Bay, so they need to sell their house and buy a new one. So exciting times.
Okay, let's see. Let's get this technology transferred back and see if this works. All right, so it looks like the technology is back, and I'm live on YouTube, and there's about a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have about a 10-second lag between YouTube and Facebook. And even then, we've got a bit of a lag, too. So Russ is looking really casual. He's actually kind of back here, chilling, relaxing a little bit. And that's because...
I dozed off.
Yeah. So there's a couple of reasons why we're late starting tonight, folks. So thing number one is Russ fell asleep, and I could not wake him up. He was just flat out exhausted. So, yeah. So that was thing number one. Thing number two is that we had some technology issues. So when I was pulling up our video mixing software here, our registration key had expired, so I had to do a quick payment.
Oh, is that why it was?
Yeah, that was part of it.
Yeah.
And then our webcam that we use pretty regularly here decided it wanted to keep falling off the tripod. So it's like, I will say we've had some really rough times with technology in the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
So yesterday we were having really big problems with our Wi-Fi not working here, and then our flat out just our network access just disappeared entirely, and we rebooted our router and our modem. We have two separate. We have a separate router from a modem, and our computers are actually, my computer, the one that we broadcast from here, is actually linked direct and live straight in from the modem directly into, doesn't even go through the router for mine. Yours goes through the router. But mine goes straight from the modem, straight into the back of my computer. So that's kind of nice. So we got 3 people watching on Facebook here. If you want to drop your name in the chat, we'd appreciate it so we can say hey to you. And unfortunately, we do have about a 30-second, I don't know what, maybe 30-second delay between what we say and what actually happens. So if you do come in, we've got about a 30-second delay. Russ, why don't you talk about some of the houses you saw today up in Green Bay, Wisconsin?
Yeah, so I was looking at 4-bedroom, 3-car garage, attached garages, really nice properties, at least 2 bathrooms in each. So they're very nice, and we actually wrote an offer on one of them, so fingers crossed that, you know, we should know tomorrow, hopefully, if not sooner. So, yeah. But we saw 2 really good properties, fairly close to each other. So we wrote on one, and hopefully if that one, you know, that is the best one. But if that doesn't come to fruition,
there's a second one.
We have
a very strong second.
Backup, yeah.
Yep, a backup one, very strong second. So
yeah.
wrote an offer tonight, really great couple. And honestly, we don't normally work in Green Bay.
No.
That's a little bit far for my poor hubby to go.
It is previous clients of ours
Yeah.
that we wanted, you know, they wanted the same great experience that we've, you know, that they got the first time. And so I was more than willing with the price of gas the way it is so
I think that's a really big factor. There's a couple of factors that made us go, yeah, you know what, at least let's start out helping them and see where it goes.
With COVID-19, we're not as busy as we would normally be.
Right.
With the prices of fuel the way they are.
Yep.
We felt, why not? you know, I could go up there and show them the properties.
I'm just
First
checking out
hand.
our super fan.
Okay. So yeah, good properties, and then if they're lucky on this one, then we'll be listing their house soon in Racine. So exciting times.
that's just come through on the one you wrote. We would be happy to shorten loan commitments without closing buyers. So we just had a question through from the guy we wrote an offer on the house today. And he wanted to know, how come we took so long? So here's a good question, Russ. So on this particular offer, we're not going to reveal like actual dates, etc. But on this particular offer, the seller wanted a far out closing date, a long extended closing date. And I'm assuming that's because they haven't found a place to buy themselves or something of that nature. So
Possibly.
yeah. So we wrote a far out loan commitment as well.
Yeah, because we don't want to, give loan commitment weeks before we close.
Right, exactly.
That's just not protecting our clients.
Right, absolutely.
So we want the best for our clients. They're the people that we're representing. And so we do what's best for those.
Yep, absolutely. So this agent asked, "Hey, how come you put your loan commitment out so far?" And I just answered him and said, "Well, the reason we put our loan commitment out so far is because your sellers want a far out closing date. Our buyers would close much faster, and we'd be happy to give loan commitment sooner if you want to move the closing date back."
Yep.
So it's always available for negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know? But we wrote a very strong offer, too. I think he's going to have a hard time justifying not accepting. I mean, we've kind of given them what they want. Wouldn't you agree?
I would hope so. So that's what we're in the business of doing, is if our clients see a house that they want, then we're going to help them get it.
Absolutely. So we are live here on Facebook, and we are live on YouTube simultaneously. Mm-hmm. And if you are here on Facebook, we'd appreciate it if you would drop us a comment in the chat. Same with YouTube. If you'd like to drop us a comment in the chat, we would be happy to do that. So let's talk a little bit about what a COVID-19 real estate world is looking like right now.
Well, yeah. So lots of virtual showings and lots of virtual open houses. We've been doing those, as you know, for quite some time now.
Although not today, because again, technology thwarted us.
Technology thwarted us on our open house. However, and a lot of the homes that we visited up in Green Bay either had little packs of gloves that was available for us to use. Although I always take my own, so we did have I had a big bag of rubber gloves available for myself and my clients. We had hand sanitizer in the car, so we could sanitize, but some good sellers had also put out big bottles of sanitizer for us to use, and booties to put on our shoes. So that was really nice that they went that extra mile and laid out stuff for our safety as well as theirs. So it was very nice that they vacated their homes to allow us to view them, and that they also put in place some safety precautions to help protect them as well as us. So we're really thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
now
yeah.
I'm sitting here talking to this other agent because we do want to do the best for them. The loan commitment date is based purely on closing date. Would your sellers like to close in this person's like, well, we like to have loan commitment in 30 to 45 days. And I'm like, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you want to close in 30 to 45 days, we'll be happy to do loan commitment in 30 to 45 days. But if your sellers want to have their house and want to own their house for much longer, well, so oh, let's see. Oh, goodness. So during our live broadcast, oh, yeah, that's him. Go ahead, answer. Russell may have to step away.
Hi.
Well, this is interesting, guys. You're actually seeing real estate in progress right now. Russ is actually negotiating for our clients. He's just stepped out of the room because the other client... Hey, Liz, sorry we wasn't able to say hi to you specifically. We actually had to pull away from that because we're negotiating something for another client at the moment of our live. How funny is that? So, let's see. We're going to go ahead and click love on that. So let's talk about this COVID world. So here's what's interesting, folks, is that you may not realize that houses are still selling. Houses are still selling. This is a great time to buy a house. I've got a listing right now that we have 3 people who said they are interested in writing an offer, and none of them have written an offer. And the only reason I can think of is because people are afraid. Folks, if you are still qualified to buy a house, you should be buying a house now. Interest rates are the lowest that they've ever been. I mean, you really shouldn't miss that opportunity. Lock in a interest rate of 3.5% or 3.75%, or some of our clients have locked in interest rates for 30 years as low as 3.25%. I mean, that is phenomenal. I mean, that's just crazy low interest rates. And what you may not realize is that some people are like, oh, well, interest rates, they go up and down. It's no big deal. But here's the thing. The interest rate, if it goes up at 1 percentile, just up to 4.25%, which is what it was last year at this time. If it just goes up 1 percentile, it will actually drop your qualification anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000. 1 percentile can actually drop you from being able to buy as big or as better of a house. So because your total qualification with a mortgage is based on how much your monthly payment is and what your income is based on that. And so you might be qualified to buy a really great house right now, but if you wait and you might not be qualified, you might be able to afford it. It's not about going to the top of your level. It's more about getting that really solid, great qualification. So we have some phenomenal buyers right now that Russ is in the other room. This is unprecedented. Normally we just turn our phones off during this, but we knew this might be happening, and we want to work what's best for our clients. So this is kind of funny because we've never had this happen before where it's interrupted our live broadcast. So that's kind of interesting. Any questions, please put them in the chat. We are kind of winging it tonight. Want to talk about this during COVID and post-COVID. What's the world gonna look like? Well, my belief is that when COVID is done and over with, this world is going to be crazy with real estate, in that all the people who are just hesitant and don't necessarily have to right now, none of them are moving. I think we're going to have a huge rush to the market. We're going to have a huge rush of sellers to the market, a huge rush of buyers to the market. It's going to be like a dam bursting. And honestly, if you are not the kind of person who loves a super competitive market, I'm going to tell you, you need to be thinking about buying right now. Also, I do know that because the Fed is artificially keeping interest rates really low right now to help keep our economy from collapsing, I do know that what's going to happen probably in about 6 months is that they're going to have to raise interest rates just to make up for this whole pandemic and what it's doing to our economy, just to keep our economy stable. They're going to have to raise interest rates probably within the next 6 months to a year to stabilize that. That means that you'll be paying more for your house in 6 months than you would be paying today. And to me, that just seems like the reason. And there are still sellers that have to sell. I have a new listing coming on May 4th, next Monday in Kenosha, another one, because these people are moving out of town. They have to move out of town. They have to, it's not an option. They have a job they're going for. They have to sell their house. So the people who still have to move, their houses are still available, and what a great, great, great thing. So definitely if you are thinking about buying or selling, and honestly, sellers right now, here's the best thing. You're not going to get the strongest, like tons of people clamoring for your house necessarily. Although, having said that, the one that we listed just last week has had like 25 showings. I mean, they have barely been in their house this week. They've had their kids at in-laws and at parents and their dogs at other places for like entire days just so that these showings could take place. So they have not even been home very much because they are getting showings, and they've got 3 people who have said, hey, we'd kind of like to write an offer, but I think COVID's giving them a little bit of they're thinking they don't have to move as fast. Yeah, but if there's 3 of you, well, then you do need to move fast. So you know what? This is really, really awesome, the way this is going. So, I don't know what's happening here. I've paused this. Hopefully it catches up. I don't know why when I'm in a live broadcast, why it just pauses it for me. So what's the result, Russ? What do you think? Uh-huh. You think you may have negotiated it? You think you may have convinced him? I guess we'll know tomorrow.
Yes.
Because he was just on the phone with the other agent. Was he arguing with you a lot? Some. So he's just being pig-headed and bull-headed, and his sellers want what they want, and they think they can get everything they want. And
there's differences of opinion, and I have to look after my buyers. And
absolutely.
And I respect that he has to try and get the best deal for his clients. So
well, I think you've written a really phenomenal offer, though. I do think his clients are going to have a really hard time turning down your client's offer.
They may be doing multiple.
Oh, okay. We shall see. Yeah. That's fine. The good news is your clients actually have another house that's a possibility for them.
Yeah, they do.
There's a backup for them. There were 2 houses that they loved, so honestly, if this one doesn't work out, it would be a little sad, but I think the other house is just great too. And if they don't have to compete with someone else on it, they may actually get a better deal.
Yeah.
You never can tell, folks. This is the joy of real estate. Here you go. You get to watch it live, happening on air.
Happening live on air, yes.
So I know you're not going to talk about the details of the offer.
No, I can't. That's confidential.
Yep.
So,
absolutely. But it does have to do with things like understanding how to balance those closing dates with those loan commitments, with the appraisal, with the, and then the other thing is, because this is in Green Bay, that's a little bit different market, and they might do things a little bit differently up there because some markets do act differently just because they are a different market. So. Yeah,
we find that when we work in various different areas.
Yep.
So
and don't get me wrong, we don't usually work up in Green Bay. No. This is not a regular for us, so please, folks, if you're in Green Bay, we'll be happy to help you find another agent, but we're really not looking to, let's see here. All right, so by 7:15, that's the last message we've gotten. So other than the fact we've got that great new listing that still, for some reason, we were getting, the funny thing is we're getting a lot of comments that say, it's amazing, it's awesome, it's priced just where it should be, it's the best house we've seen at this price point.
Yeah.
And people are still saying, but I'm not going to write an offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, well, maybe not ever, but until they write an offer, they haven't written an offer. And it's really weird to see people saying, hey,
everything's perfect. Price is perfect. House is perfect. Love the house.
Love it.
Are you going to write an offer?
No. We're like, what? And I do think, I will tell you.
I'll even supply the pen. You can write an offer.
Wait, you need to make sure the pen is in the picture. Is it actually in the picture? Supply the pen. We have our own pens. Not that that's big of a deal. But yes.
You can call me and I'll write the offer for you.
Yes. So, let's see here. I'm going to close that so I can see the other part. Yes, so you can see the pen when we put it up there. That's good. That's good to know. So, we'll be happy to write that offer for you, folks. Trying to manage some of these screens. This has not been the most successful broadcast, but hey, at least it's a broadcast, and we are absolutely doing it. See, look at that. It keeps pausing me. I don't know why it's doing that there. Why it just keeps pausing that. Because what that means is that it's hard for me to know how far behind we are. And I don't know if that pauses it for the viewers, too. That would be weird if it does. Very strange. So, this COVID market is definitely different. However, we are still working. We have one that's coming these buyers that we met with today, they will be selling their home here in Racine once we find them the property they're going to buy. So that's going to be coming up in the next probably couple of weeks at the very latest, or definitely in the next month for sure. And then the next one is, the next situation is, we've got one coming May 4th. That one's happening a week from Monday.
Yeah.
That one will drop on Monday.
Whereabouts is that one?
And no pauses on your end. Okay, well, that's good, Liz. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. So that one is located in Kenosha in Whitecaps. We can't give out the address yet.
No, but yeah. So
but it's in Whitecaps. Yep, we've got one in Whitecaps, and I will tell you it's going to be $215,000, and that's all I can say.
Nice.
Contract is already signed, date's already set. We're good to go. It's just a matter of finishing cleaning and last minute stuff and photos and pull the marketing package together. So that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, because people don't realize that, you know, we have this whole marketing process that we do. You know,
Yeah.
it's not just list it and throw it on the market and let it, you know, see where it falls.
Right,
it's
exactly.
a case of actually, you know, placing it on at the right time, taking pictures, making sure we've got all the photographs in
Yep.
line for when we go live. So
Yep,
you know,
exactly.
it all drops into place.
Yep, so all the marketing drops into place. And sometimes that takes a week. Sometimes with like this last one we just did, it dropped into place all within like about 48 hours.
Yeah.
It was like, boom. It was like a
Yeah.
rocket exploding.
Take that.
Yeah, that was not on, but it all went really well. I mean, it definitely landed like we wanted it to land, so that's good. And the one's coming May 4th. We've got another one coming, these buyers that Russ is working with. And then I have a third one as well for sure that'll be coming probably within the next couple of weeks. They are actually getting new flooring in the bathroom and new carpet in the basement. I guess you could call it den, office, study, bedroomy. Their teenage son lived down in that area. So they're putting new carpet in the basement and they're putting new flooring in the upstairs bathroom. That's all been like, it's been mostly freshly painted, except the living room was already really nice, so they just did touch up paint there. But the rest of the house freshly painted laundry room, freshly painted basement floor in that laundry room as well. Gonna have a home warranty, nice fenced in yard, 2.5 car. Yep, and that's gonna be $175 in Racine. So that's going to be a few weeks, though.
That's good, yeah.
Yep. That's going to be a few weeks because the carpet and flooring in the bathroom have to be put in. The vinyl flooring in the bathroom have to be put in, and that's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Because the installers can't get in there. Like, the installers can't do the job until, like, beginning of May. So we've got those 3 definite that are coming all in May. So if you have interest in something that's really nice, granite countertops, etc., in Racine, you've got that. We have a bargain basement one in Whitecaps that's coming. We have one currently in Kenosha that's absolutely gorgeous. So much space, so awesome. That's the mint chocolate chip house. And that's just so awesome. The only not awesome thing about that house is the fact that we cannot get this virtual open house to work for them.
I know, it's crazy.
I think there's something, I don't know, there's some unseen forces.
I'm going to do it on my 360 and at least I'll get something out.
Third time's the charm, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
We're gonna keep trying to do. I've got the video. I think I have it already done. I had to do it by sound. I could not even do it by video because I don't know if it's something wrong with my computer or if it's the actual video that's the problem. So I was trying to, but I think it's my computer at least, because this was giving us problems with that program earlier. So we're going to see. I am not going to give up. So that's one of the things that you need to know. If you do hire us to work for you, we do not give up, and at least not easily. So that's the good news of that. So I can see we've got some more people here in Facebook, but nobody else dropping anything in the chat to let us know who they are. So please do that. Please drop us a note in the chat. Let us know who you are.
Yeah, where's our guys from Denmark?
Yeah, where's our Copenhagen guys that were here last week? I'm missing them. So, oh well, that's all right. We did get started a little bit later tonight than we intended, and I apologize for that, folks. But we've gone a little bit later. Of course, Russ had to step out for a minute, too.
Yeah.
But it's been a really busy real estate week. So any agent out there that's telling you that real estate is not still going, stop listening to them because we're still really busy. We still have customers who have to move and want to move. And, you know.
You know, what would you do if you got a fantastic job offer in another county,
Mm-hmm.
you
Or
need
another
to-
state, like my Kenosha one that's
Yeah.
coming up.
you know, if you need
Or-
to move,
Or
we
like our
still-
bour
we still need to be able to.
or
help
like our
clients.
seller buyer whose house doesn't have an offer yet. They found a phenomenal house for them at a great
Yeah.
price.
Mhm.
That was an upgrade house, and it's a great house. It's fitting everything they need, and they want to move forward because it's such a great house for them. It's a good fit. So, you know, that's the way it is. That's the way life is, folks. So there are still people moving and shaking. In fact, our other team members are really moving and shaking too. Was talking to Keela last night, and we will have them on here sometime in the near future, but it's just our technology has, I think because there's so many people who are having to use technology that it's affecting the whole network of everybody.
Maybe, yeah.
Because our
There's more
technology
people
doesn't
using it than ever before.
Yeah, our technology doesn't usually have this much of a problem. So I don't know if it's partly that or if it's just us or if it's bad luck or what the deal is, but that's all right. We're still going to keep plugging away with our techie stuff because I'm a geek and he's a jock, but I'm a geek who likes to mess around with this stuff.
Yep.
Right?
Mhm.
And you're the jock that got to go to Green Bay today.
Yeah. And go to Lambeau Field and. Yeah.
Did you actually swing by Lambeau Field or
We
just drove
actually
by?
saw Lambeau Field from the road.
From the road, but
From the road,
yeah.
We didn't go right up alongside.
no, because as
But
soon as
we
you
were
found that
very
great
close
house.
to Lambeau on 2 of the houses, and my client's dad has season tickets to Lambeau, so I reckon they'll see him quite a lot because he'll
They have-
probably stay over.
They have season tickets?
He has dad
Oh,
Her
her
dad
dad
has
has
season
season
tickets.
tickets.
to Lambeau.
Ah,
so,
well then I bet that they will see them quite often. Gotcha. Russ may want to make a trip up there. He might say, "Hey,
yeah.
you can invite me." I did
Yeah.
say to
And
her,
it's right by the
"No."
lake for fishing as well.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So, well, hopefully they get the house that they're offering on tonight, and we'll see what happens, and we'll kind of go from there for them. But but you guys stay safe, stay well. The real estate market is still flowing just fine, and we will be here for those of you that have been furloughed and have to wait, which we understand that. We get it. Some people don't have an option, and if you don't have an option, don't feel bad because your time will come. But if you have an option and you don't have a house to sell, you are in the perfect position right now. Even if you have a house to sell, there's still people listing their house. There's not a lot of competition out there. So if you have a house to sell and you find that dream home to buy, we're here to help you. Keela has a new customer as well that's just gotten pre-approval. Will looks like he's got a couple that he's working with as well. So we're pretty excited about where things are moving forward for them. It's pretty exciting because there are veteran agents in our office who have nothing going on. So to have 2 brand new agents who are doing so phenomenally well, they are. Yep. Yep. Yeah, we can't wait to have them over. So what we'd like to do is after COVID, maybe do one of these broadcasts with all 4 of us or something, because that'd be kind of cool. And that way people could see all 4 of us and we could talk the market. And
We could even do one from the hot tub.
no, we're not doing a broadcast from the hot tub. That's not happening, folks. I don't care what he says. We do have a hot tub, but that is not up and running yet, first of all. And secondly, and it is outside. That's one of the reasons it's not up and running. It has to be cleaned out after the wintertime every year. But secondly, no, I'm not taking our equipment anywhere near water. Because while these equipment might be nice and they're not super expensive, they're not waterproof either. Oh, look at Russ.
I'm yawning.
He's yawning. Oh, that's sad. All right, folks. Well, have a great evening. If you have any questions about real estate or just want to chat with us, or if you just want to have a Zoom call because you're lonely, we're happy with that. We can absolutely help you out. So we are here to help people, to serve people, especially first-time home buyers and sellers, and be able to educate and inform and help you make some really intelligent decisions for your future, because your real estate is probably the one thing that will determine your financial future. Wouldn't you agree?
Yep.
The amount of real estate
Definitely.
you own or the type of real estate you own absolutely is a direct correlation to your future financial success. And we want all of our listeners and all of our watchers here to be financially successful. So if we can help you in any way to bring that about, well, then give us a call. Otherwise, looks like Russ is nodding off over here in the corner, so we're going to let you go. So have yourself a great evening, folks, and good night.
Good night.